Ultra-processed foods are foods that have seen more of the inside of a factory than they have nature. These are foods that you can't recreate in your kitchen even if you wanted to. There's a difference between processing a food and ultra-processing a food. Humans have been processing foods forever. I mean, cooking, heating, soaking, sprouting, fermenting, cooking eggs in the skillet, boiling potatoes. That's a form of processing. It makes foods more digestible, the nutrients more absorbable, as we're going to learn more about. But ultra-processing is something so new to the human diet. Basically, our body, our biology, no longer recognizes the food anymore. Ultra-processing is looking at a field of wheat, corn, soy, and that magically becomes Lucky Charms or Cheerios or Oreos. These are so nutrient poor, they're just a source of energy, calories, and you're not getting virtually any micronutrients, vitamins, or minerals from them. And the problem with this is a recent study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that 60% of adults, our diet comes from these ultra-processed foods, whereas just 100 years ago, it was 0% of our diet. Now they make up a majority. Even worse, in a recent 2021 study published in JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, found that children ages 2 to 19 consume almost 70% of their diet from ultra-processed foods. That's almost 3/4 of their diet. Are these foods actually healthy though? Well, they're not a part of healthy traditional cultures' diets at all. We're going to talk more about that, but there was a series of studies published in the journal Nutrients titled Ultra-Processed Foods and Health Outcomes, a Narrative Review. This review looked at 43 studies on ultra-processed food consumption and human health, and not a single study found any association between ultra-processed foods and positive health outcomes. Now, what's even crazier is that these foods are highly addictive. Once you start eating them, Doritos, Pringles, Oreos, you can't put them down. And there is a reason that this is the case. In the 1980s, the biggest tobacco company, cigarette manufacturers, Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds, they realized that smoking was being demonized, not that healthy for you, and it was hitting their bottom line. But they switched. They were smart, and they were very skilled at making their cigarettes addictive and marketing them towards the public, that they switched to buying big food companies like Kraft, Nabisco, Heinz, General Mills. And within the decades after they bought these big food companies, they became increasingly more addictive. A study published just last year in the British Medical Journal, the BMJ, looked at 281 studies and found that ultra-processed foods is just as addictive as smoking and alcohol. Why is that? Well, because big tobacco bought these big food companies, and in a recent study published just this year in the journal Addiction, it was found that U.S. tobacco companies actually made more addictive foods in the years that they bought these big food companies. If you want to have a healthy diet, it's not going to include a ton of these ultra-processed foods in your diet. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you like this content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button below. Leave a question or comment, interact a little bit. I'd love to interact with you in the comment section. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of incredible content just like this coming very, very soon. Send this video out to somebody that you know needs to see it most, and I'll talk with you next time.